the group stage, as they are on the cusp right now. They are sitting at a score of 4-6. And if they could get a 2-0 here, they might even just be able to catapult themselves back into contention for an upper bracket slot for playoffs.
Whereas on the other side, BB team struggles all around. It's like a make or break match for them. They need wins here, and they need them bad. Not just for their place in the tournament, but for morale. I mean, if you're out of the tournament, morale's quite bad, but you got to start getting something cooking here. So far, it's not been working out. I don't know. This is another game where I think there's a lot of team fight in this BB team lineup. I think they have a lot of catch, a lot of firepower in the supports to follow up the stuns between, you know, Coil, a Boundless Strike, some Tornado action. But I do favor a Quest here. I think the lineup just looks a little more complete to me, and I think there's a lot of potential to snowball this early game. And as you know, I'm just not big on Brewmaster.
Yeah, you did say that last series.
You know what my issue with Brewmaster is?
Tell me.
He just doesn't close, man. He's not a closer.
Always be closing.
Always be closing. He just doesn't close games. When the hero's winning, he has the chance to throw, and when he's losing, he's absolute garbage. So he's just not a closer. And you got to be closing, and you got to be closing near the end of this group stage at the World Cup, or you're going home.
That's right. BB team. Rough loss earlier today, too, that they have to be able to shrug off in their matchup against Entity. Especially since one of those games they should have won. And slipped out of their fingers. Now very far down on the listing. Throw back a bit of damage here, but Amar hits a really good bushwhack that does far more.
Unlucky Acorn bounce.
Yeah, might have been able to get the kill if it went back to Toronto, Tokyo. Mid lane matchup, GPK. Always the person you want to talk about when you're looking at BB team and saying who's going to be leading the momentum, who's going to be carrying the game. One of the most skilled players in the world that is supposed to comprise one of the most skilled teams in the world.
Not stepping
up to the table, as they have done so many times at so many previous LAN events. It's been just the continual criticism for this team for 2 years at this point in time.
But hey, here's an optimistic outlook.
Okay.
I feel like BB team always starts tournaments really strong.
Yeah.
Top 1 or 2 in their groups. Like, they win that first series, demolish somebody else, and then it peters out.
True.
Here,
they're taking the opposite approach, you're saying?
They've taken the harder road. So maybe now they can go the distance. You know, the road has been too easy for them, so they're spicing it up here.
I see.
I'm going to make that comeback trail to the finals, perhaps.
Maybe they should learn from Team Spirit, you know? Get like one dub and then just win your way through the group stage. You know, just take as many L's as possible and still be in the upper bracket.
I don't know if that was intentional, but...
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Team Spirit, but it seems like it's intentional with them, man.
Well, BB team doing okay here so far. Pretty much free farming on 3 cores, getting everything they want out of the laning phase. And whenever you do that with the Brewmaster, that is the position this hero can thrive in. Get the early 6-up, maybe kill the enemy carry, look for the team fights around the towers.
Bushwhack trying to stop Nightfall, and a spear back will keep him from delivering any more damage to Malik. The battle kind of continues here, looking for first blood somewhere in these lanes. Noob's doing very well in mid lane, by the way, in the Wind Ranger, 24-6. Though, I think that's the expected outcome, Wind Ranger versus Puck. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, I think anything beats Puck nowadays, especially the first half of the laning phase. This hero's more about the split push, the scale,
yeah,
bringing the team fight together for the other cores. So I would expect the Wind Ranger to be ahead here, and he is. I think Noob's position is also pretty vital for PSG Quest here, as you're looking to bring these big core heroes down fast later on in the fight. If you want to kill the Brew before he ults, if you want to kill this Puck off a landed Bushwhack or Shackle, the Wind Ranger's burst damage is going to be really significant in those areas. Of course, you're also a big counter threat to the Monkey King here. Not a lot Nightfall can do to shift that matchup. So if Noob gets big, he can solve a lot of PSG Quest problems.
And Noob is somebody that PSG Quest rides a lot of their momentum off of early on in games. Feels like if he struggles in lane, PSG Quest oftentimes turn to a very slow approach, but when he's cooking, and very oftentimes Noob has cooked, then they're able to bring a lot more aggression than they normally would. And perhaps that's part of their success so far here at Riyadh Masters.
He could easily rotate to either of these side lanes. I mean, both these mid players could look for rotations or counter ganks on the side lanes, especially after these catapults go down mid and you're looking towards that 6-minute power rune. But I think whoever can break some of these side lanes first is going to be happier about it. As you have Monkey versus the Mars, it's pretty much a free farm lane for Nightfall, and I think this Brood has been mostly free farming top. They'll have to TP out here in the 1-on-2. They will survive. Got to look for that Enchantress roam. If you're going to leave the lane with the Ench this early, then you got to get something off of it. Here, Ducalis.
And that something is a power rune and a kill. Toronto Tokyo will try and delay this death by cooking up to the high ground, trying to slow down Noob, but he will eventually be found and killed. TA2000 in his TP back does not save him. He steps a little bit too far out of the lane. They do manage to get the first blood still to Noob, but extremely expensive. As again, he used TP earlier, so he's going to have to walk out to lane as a Broodmother.
As Brood is really suffering now. Did not do well when the Enchantress left the lane. Didn't get any sort of pull-off. Wasn't able to free farm under the tower. They got the TP, then they got the kill. Now he has to walk out from base. TA2000 very far behind here. BB team should be extremely happy with how that lane is gone.
Mar, Cookie, and a Boundless is done. He gets blown up pretty quickly, so the safe lane of BetBoom faring much better. As you can see, Monkey King sitting third in net worth right now, keeping up. And he's actually going to go for a contest onto the Wisdom Rune, see if he can beat out the Mars back to the Wisdom, and he makes it. What a big steal from Nightfall. What a great read.
Very close to paying the iron price, but he will escape, and huge boon for BB team here as, you know, all their cores are doing well. Now their supports are happy on top of it. We've seen Save have some tremendous games on Batrider over the course of this year. Can really just set up every initiation, every team fight, make it worth the investment. Gets really farmed on this hero too, so if you give him some extra experience, it's going to go a long way here.
Yeah, look at this.
Might be a game that comes down to how much Noob can get done with the start he has versus how much BB team can get done with the start that the Monkey King has relative to the Brood. You can rotate this Monkey to some of these other fights, bring numbers into mid or top, through the gate, whatever you want to do. I think Nightfall joining some of these early exchanges, if quests commit to them, would be really nice for BB team here. You'd love a power rune to go with it. They do. Oh, that is a juicy one.
Yeah. Amp damage. The 6-minute rune was an invis that the Enchantress picked up, so pretty useless. GPK scouting for a lane ward here.
Guess it's wrong.
Yeah, he does.
Get it eventually, though.
On the other side of the river, they'll find it through Toronto Tokyo.
So Vision gone on mid for PSG Quest. They lose that power, and that is a very strong power rune to give this early to a ranged mid hero. Definitely want to look for either the rotation off the puck that lands a core kill, or just start pushing this mid tower off a gank, something like this. But I would want to get value out of this amp damage rune if I'm GPK right now.
Double harm, shall I be?
TA2000 in trouble again. When is PSG Quest going to do something to help this Broodmother? He is just not getting over the line. Wait a minute, he battles it out with the Batrider and stays alive. Miro was not able to go for it, and now Noob, with the late TP in, comes in to try and punish Miro. Now, Miro immediately is going to have to use the Primal Split. He'll do what damage he can, not expecting him to be able to kill. Whoa! Toronto Tokyo, out of nowhere, comes through the gate, shoots down the Broodmother, gets level 6, uses the kisses to help get the kill on the Wind Ranger, and now the Tornado toss-up in the air with that amp damage from Puck will finally come into play. They'll get all 3 kills at top.
Those are the rotations that are deadly for Quest in that safe lane, because the Brood, I mean, you play it out pretty well if you're TA2000. You get the return kill, but you do not have near enough to sustain a full-out team fight in your lane with the start you've had. And BB team getting everything they want out of that Brew ult. The extra levels on Toronto Tokyo, those Wisdom runes adding up here. Just a nice full bore shot on that Brood. Saw him going in there from that lane ward.
Ooh, long range. That change in the facet, man, makes a huge difference combined with the Wisdom rune that was stolen earlier, getting Toronto Tokyo these early levels. Look at him, he's level 7 now.
He's a monster. That's a huge turn in this game, because when you play with this carry Monkey, the faster your game goes, the more these early fights you get, it just explodes his game. This is the real strength of this hero right now. And it's going to be a Gleipnir build-up for Nightfall. Can continue to defend this safe lane, and now all their cores are in a really strong position. This Brood has no tower. The safe lane Brood, I think, is a lot weaker than the off-lane Brood in terms of how you can play around objectives and bring the team to you.
And isn't Monkey King going to be like a pretty hard counter to the Broodmother for a lot of the game?
Yep, it is a good matchup for the Monkey for sure. And you have some like counterplay with evasion off the bite and healing through his heal, but in general, you drop the Wukong, you fight the Broodmother, you're going to win.
I mean, also Boundless Strike, just like killing all your spiders.
Yep, it's a good matchup, and it dissuaded them from putting the Brood in the offlane in the first place. See if BB team can defend this tower. I think they would really like to here. Could just get a trade with dealing some tower damage mid as well. And in fact, Quest are going to back up. They still have this catapult, they glyph for it. Brewald up in 9 seconds with vessel charges.
Radiant's bottom
Are you going to give up the safe lane tower without a fight? They will. A little surprising to me. But of course, you do get some farm on the map. Another power room for GPK. Get some more tower damage mid just through some right clicks.
I almost feel like if you are, if you're winning the game, unless you are supremely confident about taking that fight, it seems like most teams just err on the side of like, it's easy to throw that fight by trying to rotate to the safe lane. Usually you're not able to get like a good group up, a good initiation to that fight. The enemy has the advantage, so why even risk it, you know? Just keep being oppressive, like they're doing at TA2000, missing out on that attempt at the kill. GPK has to use the coil here to stay alive against Snoop. May not be able to make it though. Wow. Shackle sets up the power shot. GPK unable to face shift that one.
I am surprised he got that kill. I guess Javelin plus the Jousting Lance helps him out there for sure.
Is that what it's actually called?
No, it's the Lance of Pursuit. I just always think of it as a jousting. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. My brain can never put that name together, but gives him a lot of extra damage there as the puck's running away.
I think that tier 1 is criminally underrated.
It's
like
solid.
on the
It's
upside,
solid.
it does add a lot of damage. In a situation like that, where the puck's trying to run away against a focus fire Wind Ranger.
I mean, it got buffed too. The damage from behind is 20 now instead of 15. So that's a lot. 20 bonus damage on hits like a Wind Ranger. But what is that ability called, Austin?
Hound.
You actually knew that?
Huh?
You actually knew that?
No, I was already looking at the Lance of Pursuit
There's
earlier.
no way you
said
do
the
that.
name wrong. It's a good name though.
Dire's
Hound.
middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, you hound them with the Jousting Lance. You get the tower on the rebuttal.
Yeah.
Pretty nice here for BB team. They'll get a deny? No, they will not.
Nope. Dukala sneaks it in with the Centaur creep.
It's a lot of recovery time for TA2000 here.
Yeah.
Hasn't really been contested during this period. I mean, he had the 2 bad deaths on lane. His tower goes down, but then BB team kind of just let him do whatever, and he is recovering here. Didn't really manage to get like super deep jungle wards out or smoke and try and kill his Brood with a coil. Are getting a lot of D wards around mid. That part's going well for him. And of course, Nightfall is matching that Brood in terms of comparable farm rate.
Oh, Nightfall, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, it's a flag bearer creep. You know you want that last hit, but if he were to pop out, he'd get bushwhacked, he'd get shackle shot, run down by the focus fire with the fresh Maelstrom coming out. Kiss is going to be put to work here with the coil. The overprotective wisps make it difficult if the orb doesn't land. Okay, the Boundless Strike will finally come out from Nightfall to deliver the killing blow. 2,000 net worth lead remains for BB team. Almost got me.
See if they can grow this lead. You'd really want to use the aggression of the Monkey this early Gleipnir on Nightfall to ramp up the pressure. Find the Brood at least once, counterplay whatever the Mars wants to do right now, get more vessel charges on Miro. That we did see the blink come out from Malik here. If they can make a play with that and the Brood Orchid coming online to connect on this puck, that's kind of the ideal. Maybe you find Monkey with the Blink Mars Arena, cut a tree, or you find this puck with the Brood Orchid. Those are the 2 connections that you're really looking for here if you're Quest. I mean, they're looking for him. They've really been patient trying to find this Nightfall kill, but he has not bitten the bait. were some Radiant obs down there that scouted a little bit of this movement, which has protected Nightfall a decent amount.
Yeah, see that deeper ward by the outpost. Got some information at some point about that setup. So they'll not be caught.
A lot of time wasted for this Mars. Might have even been better off just like running down this bottom jungle area and gambling that you find him on the low ground or something like that. Oftentimes when you linger in Dota, it never ends up being worth it.
Some deep Dota wisdom for you. Not to stay stationary in one place. Got spotted. Should have been spotted anyway. This smoke. So they were still under the vision. Running across to mid. We'll see whether or not GPK has picked up on that. They have the scan there as well. So yeah, they definitely see this coming. He's going to bait out an illusion rune here.
Right as the Brood's connecting.
Yeah. With the Orchid, so it's a juicy kill that they want to go for, but the Spiders kind of ruined it. They hit the illusion. Very clearly is an illusion now. They re-smoke up here with some of the rest of their heroes all joining BB team.
Baiting the Brood.
Whitemere got him. Do they want to commit for this one? They've got the Blink Lasso on him. They can blow up the Brood Mother super fast. The arena does what it can to hold BB team in place, but they've lost their carry, and they don't really have the damage to throw into an arena. I'm only just now looking at that, but it's not great.
Need BKBs on the course. That's what the arena could do for them. Until you have that, though, yeah, you're throwing out this arena, everybody's sitting in there, and no one cares.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Brood is the hero you want to bait. I mean, with an Orchid Rush, he's not a good target to have get jumped. Maybe not expecting the Blink to already be out on the Batrider, but these supports have been finding a lot of farm. They've been finding a lot of extra Broodlings on the map. This is a game where I would like to see the stab.
Need to stop the TP. Miro coming in from the side. Put the damage together. Bring down to Gauss. No primal splits, so Miro is likely to die from this one if the Bushwhack had landed, but the Glimmer Cape is going to help protect him now that the Bushwhack misses, and Noob's got to skedaddle. As BB team brought some serious forces in response to this one. They've got great catch. With the Monkey King, with this facet, and a Gleipnir, it is going to be very hard for PSG Quest to ever get away. And that's just one hero. They've also got a Puck, who's incredibly good. They've got a Bat Rider who can run down heroes, the Storm Panda from the Brewmaster. It is a nightmare. Once you lose one hero and feel like you can't take the team fight anymore, you are going to get run down. You're going to get hounded, Avery.
Hounded by the Lance of Pursuit. Indeed. All right, show me the Broodling stat.
There it is, 82 spiders.
That is some juice right there.
He's an arachnophobe. Love to see. Kill as many of them as possible. Still though, BB team, it feels like they're winning. Like, it really feels like they're winning a lot, but they are not actually building up a net worth lead. What's with that?
They've mostly been making big team moves, bringing everybody to that fight bottom, everybody to the fight top on the tower. These moves are low risk, but they're not as high reward. Like, you're not going to close out the map as fast. You're not going to take away farm or camps from the Brood Mother. You're going to miss some waves in terms of, Nightfall playing scared bottom. Stuff does add up. We haven't really been able to find connections on these big core heroes. It's going to be another quick support kill.
Yeah, they keep on accepting these, didn't have to use coil for it this time, but like the Enchantress kill, the Hoodwink. They're down to just throw 2 or 3 heroes at these support pickoffs, and will net them the 10th kill of the game. But again, not really building much on the net worth lead that they've had pretty much this entire game. To call us TP out, he's fine.
I just want to see a 2 or 3 hero smoke to try and find the Brood or the Wind Ranger before they complete BKB. I think that's the biggest impact play you can make here as BB team outside of forcing Roshan. Your lineup's just really slow at it.
Do you think PSG Quest, if they get to those BKBs unimpeded, are likely to shift how this game has gone so far?
Oh, 100%. It's one of their best timings in this entire game.
Mar, they have to use the coil. He uses his ult to snap the coil and break far enough away that the kisses don't touch him. Quick reaction from Omar.
I mean, the BKBs are here for Quest. We gave him enough time to farm him up. They have the Wind Rangers. They have the Broods flying out right now. Their team fight just got a lot stronger this arena, a lot more impactful if you can hold heroes in it and just commit on them with the BKB. Amp damage rune is definitely going to help here. You can look for the team fight. You can look for Roshan. However you want to use these BKBs. Quest are going to try and take some of this map away now and look for the fight.
Question is, are they going to get the big team fight? Or are they even going to get the pickoff? Whoops! That's not what you want to see. At least they'll still get it, so no harm, no foul, I suppose, for Malik's missed spear.
Straight into Roche with a focus fire, amp damage. So they get a decent move here. Really decent move. Going bottom there was heads up play, because even if you don't find anything, that amp damage rune would have just given you this really fast Roche regardless. And the Brood can connect through the gate. He can just go back through the gate now too to maintain the map control.
Okay, so
timing pays off.
You have been a bit behind this entire time, but you hit this item timing where you can dramatically shift the pace of the game, the trajectory of it, take it over. How do you do that, though, as PSG Quest? How do you set that up? Because I assume BB Team is just going to be dodging you, and they've got really good heroes to dodge.
Get the lanes in, make another smoke play. That's kind of it. You just gotta look for the pick off of your own 2 or 3 man smoke. Try and not get caught on the Brood. Let the Mars give you that initiation, and then commit your other cores into that fight afterwards. Will be a Radiance timing for BB Team. The downside here for PSG Quest is you put this Aegis on the Brood so he can play alone, but I don't think BB Team are afraid of trying to kill him twice. If you can save Lasso for a BKB. Depends how confident you think you can play here as T2000, but the more confident he can play and shove out lanes aggressively, it makes the move for the rest of the team a lot easier. So that's the power of the Aegis for PSG Quest here, is like, how much do you want to gamble with it? So far, BB Team not making a move into it, even with this Radiance timing on the Brewmaster.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Might just point towards they're going to try and scale up with this Puck and Monkey. Go late here. Never a bad option with Puck. Hero is a beast of a late game team fighter.
I'll be honest, I assume that BB Team have that as their idea of winning the game this entire time. When they pick Monkey King, I'm not expecting it to look like Tomato or Duraccio or, you know, like this is just a slower team.
That's fair.
Think they are always settled in to, we're better than you and we're confident in our scale. So therefore, it doesn't matter how late the game goes. I personally think that's just how BB Team looks at the game. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but that's just the vibe that I get from watching them play.
They are definitely almost always confident going late game. They tend to like to find a lot of support on Toronto Tokyo as a 5 compared to a lot of other teams, which also helps. And he has also found a lot of farm here on this Snapfire. Some of that from the Spiderlings, but he's got Shard ready to go. Glimmer Cape already up, looking for 4 staff. He's just building the utility. Bail out the cores if they're ever in trouble, and contribute with some high-impact spells. Where do you go with this smoke?
You gotta pick your target pretty carefully here, because you are going into an Aegis. So if you go for TA2000, you're going against a hero with 2 lives and a BKB. So you're not really gonna get anything out of it, and you might get caught. You kill him, and then you try and get away. It's possible that Quest catch up to you. Smoke's gonna break. Got an arena. 3 heroes inside. They have to deal with the lasso, though, first, and it's leaving the Mars a little high and dry. Now, TA2000 is finally in there, but the Wukong's command has gotten off. Quest did not get to just barrel into that arena like they were supposed to do. I mean, did Malik make a misplay? I feel like he did what he was supposed to in that situation. Why didn't it work for PSG Quest?
His BKB was on the courier.
Oh, well.
Just didn't have it for that fight. It's currently in base. He'll have it when he respawns. If he has BKB there, that can be a very different situation. I'm not sure you can come in and get big core kills out of that, but the Mars probably survives. He just got insta-stunned when he went in.
And just more very risk-free coil into kisses that somehow Omar managed to dodge all of that. So well played by him. Not quite dying. Noob pushing forward. The shackle shot goes for the kill onto Toronto Tokyo. He knows his life is forfeit, just trying to hit some cookie stuns before he goes. GPK not afraid, though, to have a bit of a poke here at Quest.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Miro still has his primal split after all, so even without their Snapfire, it's not like they're lacking in strength, with Lasso coming to back up as well.
Got the BK. I mean, that was the first Wind Ranger BKB. It is expensive for a snap kill. They'll take it, still have this Aegis for a minute, and you finish up the Bloodthorn on the Brood. So your single target damage is significant now. But your window to use it is limited to these BKBs. So far, PSG Quest have not gotten that big teamfight win they were looking for them with this Aegis.
Yeah, all they're going to get is the remaining 30 seconds is this tier 2, which I believe will still leave them at a loss on this Aegis. Actually losing net worth over this last 5 minutes.
Maybe comes down to the supports a bit here. BB team have just farmed a decent amount on these side lanes. And both their supports are going to continue to play greedy in this game as they want to scale here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
More kiting you can get on the side of BB team, the happier you're going to be. Because that's pretty much all this game comes down to for them. Like, you have 3 cores on the side of PSG Quest that want to go in, stick onto a target, right-click them down. If you can Glimmer that guy, Force Staff him, Solar Crest him, Crimson Guard him, whatever it is, then that's the most you can do, and you're probably going to win the fight off that. So they have Force Staff on the Bat Rider, Force Staff Glimmer on Toronto Tokyo, Yules on the Puck. Decent amount of kiting utility already out here for BB team. Seems hard for PSG Quest to commit in and actually find a core kill unless you land some crazy arena shackle.
Meanwhile, it's easy for BB team. It's either a lasso or a coil kisses combination, though they do manage to get the initiation onto the Brewmaster, just who they would love to have with the Bushwhacker followed up. They get that kill. The BKBs allow them to disengage a bit. The coil does snap on TA2000. Actually got the stun on him, hit him with the Boundless Strike as well. Can they keep it going, though? They jump after him, hit him with the Waning Rift, and that's enough. But he does get Orchided in the process. He's in trouble. Glimmer Cape trying to save him, and it does. Noob is not going to be able to get that kill. Oh, he's still trying for it with the wind run, but they'll take him out of the equation before the phase shift fades away. PSG Quest, they continue to experience team fight struggles, even on a better initiation this go-around, where they kill the Brewmaster at the very start of the fight. It doesn't result in a victory.
That was a very close kill on this Brew, too. I think he was in the Void Panda stance. It had an insane amount of status resist when the stuns came through.
Yeah, the silence faded pretty quickly.
Yeah, like, look at that Bloodthorn duration. I thought he got greased or something. It was so fast.
Yeah.
It's just the Void Panda. So they almost didn't even get that. And nonetheless, with the Brewmaster going down first, you think it's a good fight, but the second your BKBs are out, no one on PSG Quest is confident enough to take the second half of this. And again, the Glimmer bails GPK out. I mean, these kiting items from BB team are doing work right now. You don't have dispels for them. You don't have super reliable stuns here. PSG Quest really struggling to stick onto these cores and make the single target focus work. Need nullifiers at some point in this game, probably.
And that just is such a massive problem. If you are PSG Quest, I feel like your lineup was the one that was supposed to like kind of take over the game. It's early Orchid, threatening the puck, threatening the Brewmaster, taking advantageous fights off of the arena, and using a net worth advantage to continue to bully BB team. But now, when they're in a net worth deficit, feels like they're always needing one more item to actually win a team fight. In which case, we may never see them win a team fight.
And Nightfall's just continuing to scale while all this is happening.
Yeah.
Becoming a man fight beast right now. Ags is definitely going to help him pick up the farm, pick up the man fight versus the Brood.
A man fight beast.
Parasma done for the puck, also a big component to his scaling here. And they're on the hunt.
And BB team, again, anytime, very big difference in the support net worth difference. And I have to imagine a big part of it is just BB team is able to get these big awesome supports very casually, not having to commit too much to it a lot of times.
This is a nice play. They were looking for the TPs back, potentially the monkey TP who, well, they're just going to take the...
Go for the Brewmaster instead, but Miro in his Void Panda stance gets the disables away pretty quickly. Now Quest, to their credit, had BKBs and are able to TP out, so they took the tier 3, got a big reaction out of BB team. and didn't lose anybody for it. So it was not bad on either side.
Pushing those BKB durations down, that's the concerning part here for PSG Quest, but I do like the concept of that play, the scouting from TA2000. If somebody TP'd there, they instantly would have just been speared and probably burst down, and then you make that same play. You did get the tier 3 regardless. That could have been a play where Nightfall TP's back to try and strike the Spiderlings and just dies off an arena cutting a tree.
Yeah.
Nice idea on the map. We'll get that big reaction out of them. Got to look towards this next Roshan, though. I don't think you can afford to give it up if you're PSG Quest the way this game is going right now. Feels like Aegis on Nightfall would be unstoppable.
And it just spawns. And how do you fight into this? They don't have Primal Split, but they will have the Monkey King set up with an Aghanim Scepter, so a bunch of free statues and a Wukong Span. And they also take Roshan so quickly, PSG Quest just will never be here in time, it seems. It almost looked like they had no interest in contesting. Playing the exact opposite side of the map. No scans, no nothing. So you thought it was a Roshan that they needed to contest, and they didn't even try. So what do you think they see out of that?
Gotta just hate a later timing with the Broodmother.
Okay.
Looking towards Shard plus Butterfly, probably.
Yeah.
In terms of now you have evasion to just hit the monkey, maybe fight through the Wukong with the insane lifesteal off the Shard. That type of situation, just burst Nightfall down, even if he gets ult off and sits there.
Yeah, you get that level 20 talent, level 25 talent. I mean, it's a big window you're giving to BB team to kind of do whatever they want, but there is another big power spike for the Broodmother, no doubt. Now, question is how much is BB team going to take advantage of this Aegis? Because they've been pretty defensive, playing a lot on their side of the river. A lot of, just moving around as 2 or 3 heroes, throwing out multiple ultimates to get single target pickoffs and stuff.
I don't like this idea of just trying to go on the Brewmaster, though. I don't even think his ult is, like, that important in a sense.
Yeah.
And I think he's almost guaranteed to get off. He has Greaves now, too. I think the committal it's way too high risk for a little reward. You got to find this Puck or the supports, I think.
I actually think it means they group up too much for Wukong's command.
Yeah, you're just gonna
and
get
Coil
punished
as well, right? And then even if you survive, you have to pop BKBs. You have lost a decent amount of HP. There's no way you can go back.
What is the pathway to winning that fight if you're PSG Quest? If you commit BKBs to kill the Brewmaster, even if you kill him in the situations like we saw, then you just have to get out of there.
Yeah.
So what's it actually doing for you? It's not giving you a way to win these fights.
If anything, the BKBs may be what you need to, when you go on Monkey King or Puck or something else, and the Primal Split is popped, those BKBs allow you to commit to a bigger kill.
But this is the big problem that they face in this game is, like, where is the damage, the sustained damage going to come from PSG Quest in a longer fight where your BKBs run out? I mean, Brood Shard plus Butterfly, I can see some idea there. Wind Ranger can always run around and Ags, but you're pretty dependent on the Focus Fire.
Nice arena from Malik. A worse spear, though. It chains the disable, but it pushes him over the cliff area, unable to keep the damage on him. And the power shot just barely off the mark. Lightning on 2 now. Nightfall gets pulled back into the bushwhack. They get the pick off anyway. Well, thank you, Nightfall.
Well, Spiderlings on the Bloodthorn are no joke. Well, he'll give it to him. He said, hey, you messed up, but I got you. I got you, boys.
It's a give and take.
Looking for a lasso here. Show your face. Save's gonna take it.
Give him the Lincolns just to make sure that they can't stop him, but PSG Quest played far enough back that Save will not find the opening.
Maybe Refresher Mars is another source of sustained damage as this game goes later and later. Like Brewmaster is going to fall off a little in terms of direct damage output, so if you get double arena, just catch this monkey in like a double spear or something.
I mean, you're talking about a lot of items.
Of course,
because he's got to get his scythe first and then the refresher. You're talking about I'm talking about the 25 talent for the Broodmother. This is a lot of farming time that PSG Quests are gonna need And we'll see whether or not BB Team gives it to them. They do relinquish the control they had over the Dire Triangle.
I do think these are two teams in the tournament that can play on the slower side, especially when they try and close games out. Neither team really rushes the high ground or tries to end games quickly.
No, I anticipated this one was going to be 2 50-minute games. So if it is faster than that, I will be surprised.
2 50-minute games. What about if it's 100-minute game? And then they just both concede the next one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What do you want me to say to that?
Would you rather play 10 10-minute Dota games or 1 2.5-hour Dota game?
I would rather play 1 2.5 hour of Dota game because that's when real Dota happens. I'm not a disgusting turbo
What if
player.
that 2.5-hour game your carry picked anti-mage?
So
I gotcha.
I'm playing 4 versus 5 for 70
That's
minutes.
right.
Is that what you're
That's
saying?
right.
Nice.
Gotcha there.
Smoke up from Quest.
Dire's top tower
Bushwhack lands onto Toronto Tokyo. Not a bad kill if they can get it without committing too much. They use the arena. I guess just to make sure that there's no Monkey King on those trees.
Dire's top tower
That was the
is
Hex
under
reveal
attack.
from the Mars as well. Big item for PSG Quest, and he's going to work towards that refresher. So this Hex build-up, this is the one that scales really well in this game if you can get to that refresher, and
Dire's
suddenly you
top
have,
tower is under
you know,
attack.
10, 11, 12 seconds of disable to work with. Noob still trying to scout here.
Hey, yo, he's here, and they've got him on the lasso. Pull him back inside the Wukong's command, and if they can just add another disable, he's certainly dead. Boundless Strike isn't quite enough. The BKB is worn out, and they hit him with the Gleipnir. That'll be enough. Without the Wind Ranger, a lot of their damage goes out the window. PSG Quest, nice blink away from Malik off of their Tornado, though. A lot of chase from BB Team. We've talked about that before. Oh, get the Enchantress. How much more can they get, though? TA2000 actually thinking about turning back around. In a 3 versus 4, that's a bold move. Hit by the Gleipnir.
Very bold.
Noob still has a buyback. Maybe they want to play for that one. Gets bashed up. Oh, TA2000 had been in trouble now. Pops the Insatiable Hunger. Looks to hit something. Goes for a TP away during this BKB. The damage comes out, and it's not enough. Got away on a sliver.
Even with Nemesis Curse buffing it up, he played the cliff line against Nightfall, who could not get in there for another bash.
Dire's
Nonetheless,
middle tower
it's another
is under
disaster of a team fight for PSG Quest. They can't find their footing versus this Monkey King. Can't find the lockdown on the Lincoln's puck. Continue to bleed out heroes here.
Dire's
It's the same story. It's been the whole game. Find one hero, and then it all goes wrong.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Banner should let them commit to this push. Don't have Brewmaster ulti. Maybe that's one little concern here. Oh, they'll give it up. Settle for a tier 3 for that banner trade. Look towards the Octarine on the puck and the Abyssal on the Monkey, and then I think you're in smooth sailing to a degree.
Yeah. It's like,
Radiant are
how
scanning.
does the Broodmother, even if you get to 25 with whatever item he ends up going, looks like it's going to be Lincoln's. How do you, if Monkey King gets off Wukong's command, as much damage as Broodmother gets, when you're just surrounded by bashes from all these statues?
No, it's
Can't do
not
it.
going to happen. You have to land some crazy Shackle or Mars initiation. That's it. That's all you're looking for if you're PSG Quest.
Eontis will protect him against this Bloodthorn intrusion. A lasso. Got the Broodmother. Pull him inside the Wukong's command. Just on the edge, TA2000. He actually runs into the Wukong's command.
that is
Thinks
not your
better
play.
of that. That was a lot of damage hit from the statues. Led him and Malik the wrong road they travel down. And it'll result in Malik and Ducalis' death. Just the wrong idea.
I mean, they got the Hex on the bat when he got the lasso, so there wasn't any crazy drag into the Wukong, but it still did its job. It dissuades this BKB duration. This Brood just can't man-fight anybody. These arenas have been great. It's just, you can't stick on anybody. You don't have nullifiers. You can't line up a Hex where someone doesn't get forced or glimmered, or your other cores aren't disabled. The Brewmaster splitting, nobody can kill the Brewlings in this game. They're absolutely invincible. That's another big problem here.
Dire's middle barracks
Nobody
are
is
under
threatening
attack.
Miro.
Is falling. Radiant's
And
top tower
BB
is
team
under attack.
are threatening
Dire's top tower is under
the buildings now. Took the mid barracks. Did bit of damage on the tier 3 at top before classic BB team back away. Well, I guess Roshan time, that's fair enough.
Oh, nice heads-up steal. Gonna snag it from under BB team's nose.
Well, that's awkward.
That is an axe you already have, noob. Make sure to share the wealth.
No. You can sell your own Aghanim Scepter. Consume it for yourself.
No, let's share it around. I mean, who do you even give it to here, though? You don't really have good ones.
It's first come, first serve. Wait, did he actually do it?
He did, didn't he?
Well,
wow.
Lincoln soon for the Wind Ranger.
I mean, I guess these other ags just aren't that impactful.
Gotcha.
Maybe the slot on the Wind Ranger is better than...
A prize.
I mean, the other one you would give here is the Mars ags, but it doesn't seem like it's going to change this game.
No.
It would look good on the network chart, though.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's pretty bad out there. You could little friends them.
We'll slow the game-ending push from BB Team down, though, because they don't get any of it here, which I think would have just ended this game.
Yes. I mean, you get an Ags for a free Ags for one of their heroes.
Yeah,
big
Puck or
upgrade.
something.
Give it to the Puck. Oh yeah, you're into late game Puck territory at that point.
I still think GPK is at the point. He's at the critical mass for this hero where you were having troubles locking him down before. It just feels impossible now. You need to throw like instant Hex, Shackle, or Spear. Did get the Spear on him last fight, but even that's not enough. He's tanky.
Aegis be damned, says BB team. They look aggressively for a pickoff, and they find it in Omar. They may find more here. TA2000 is walking back into all of them. Okay.
Well, he is absolutely screwed.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. What was that?
I have no idea. I mean, he knew they were all there. PSG Quest have struggled in this game.
You know what? I was actually looking up. I was like, okay, well, you know what? TA2000 not having the best game here, but how many times he played Broodmother? I was like, maybe that'll give him a stat to help shield him against some criticism here. And this is his 9th professional match to Broodmother, but like that specific situation, it didn't matter what hero you're playing. You walked into 5 heroes. Malik trying to do the best of the situation as he can, throws out the arena. All these heroes stuck inside of it. No Wukong's command this time around, and it makes a world of difference. BB team get too aggressive in an attempt to go for it, and TA2000 now has an opportunity to finally clean up. Wait, no, he doesn't. No BKB, a silence, and they all turn around and kill him without the Monkey King.
Just dragged him out of the coil, snapped him, and probably snapped this game.
Almost got him underneath the mountain, not quite good enough. The throne is exposed here. BB team could try and finish it off.
Yeah, this is a little weird, but I don't like the
3 heroes, now only 2 left on the side of PSG Quest. They're just gonna kill them all. They're just gonna kill every single one of them and force a GG call out of PSG Quest. Yeah, he's like, I'm dead, guys. Can you just, I don't want to wait for my death timer.
Yeah, he's already queuing up the pub. Like, I did my job there, gave me Monkey King. I mean, where did he end up in that game? He ended up 8-1-12. There's something about this hero. The games where it looks good, it looks absolutely broken and it justifies the contest rate. Other games, it's fallen flat, but I feel like this monkey is going to continue to be a top contender in terms of if it slips through that first phase, you have to respect the hero. That's where I think it looks the best, is if you first pick Monkey, you can set up for it, right? You can get good core matchups, you can make his lane annoying, but these games where it goes 4th or 5th, in your pick order, and you just get a juicy Monkey King game, and there's, you know, he has a Wind Ranger to deal with him, you have a Purge on the Enchantress, so that's kind of it. He had a free farm lane, he has a good Brood matchup, he has good heroes to give him utility. Man, he just dominates. Nice performance from Nightfall and BB team as they get a much needed win here. And for PSG Quest,
an abysmal Broodmother performance. I mean, that was just, I feel like this lineup was built for Broodmother, even if it wasn't the easiest Broodmother game. Like, frankly, Broodmother just didn't really do anything for them. in this.
I just don't like this hero in the safe lane in this type of lineup because I don't know who else is opening up the map. You can't make any backstab moves. It's awkward for PSG Quest to go to the Broodmother lane. They just don't have a low cooldown playmaker outside of Wind Ranger, and she's pretty dependent on the focus fire in the fights. Felt like these triple core lineup just overlap too much.
Fair enough. PSG Quest, it goes down the wrong road, and they are now 0-1 against a BB team who definitely need some wins. They've got one of them. We'll see if they can get a second.
It is the correct pathway for BB team, and getting this a win under their belt will do a lot for their confidence. But SVG brought up two very good points that I want to touch on with my panelists here. The Brood in the safe lane. What was the thinking around that? Why are you putting it on Carrion? What exactly did it add to the lineup of PSG Quest?
Why don't you just get him as your analyst?
Okay, SVG, could you please come down from the casting room, please?
No, I mean, the thing is, I was also questioning it myself because, like, it didn't do a lot in this particular game. You overall first picked it. They didn't necessarily...
Which draft do you favor?
What's the second point? What? That was both of them. Isn't that the same thing? Which team and which draft do I favor? That's the same point. You're just telling me to pick a side.
No, I was telling you it was 2-1. Two analysts backed BB team. One of them backed PSG Quest. And I was saying I was going to give you 2 points. You are going to represent 2 points.
Oh.
To make it 3-2 or 4-1.
2 points.
No.
Well, that kind of ruined the bit.
It
the
did.
dramatic
It really
music and
did.
everything.
Let's try this one again. Avery, which team are you backing?
I'm going to back PSG Quest here.
Oh, backing
Yep,
the
I am.
same man.
I don't want
PSG.
to. I don't want to, but I am.
Why don't you want to?
Because
The battle begins.
I still think this draft is pretty awkward for the meta. Like, it has some of the same issues last game. You're really single target heavy focused on these cores. You don't have a lot of sustained damage in the fight. I just think BB Team's draft has a bigger problem, which is very limited control. Like, you have a lot of damage you can throw out between the Zeus Razor, but you have very limited stuns. You have a Centaur Stomp and a Lasso, and that's it. And it's none of those control the Spear Breaker with the Bulldoze going through. So I feel like if Omar gets big this game, he's just too much of a problem in the team fight for BB Team to deal with. Someone's going to get doomed. Someone else is going to get focus fired. And the biggest thing this game is, I think last time, BB Team had a lot more damage threats spread across the board. So when you went in and you committed everything on one of those targets, whether it was the Brewmaster or you tried to break down the Monkey King or something, the other two cores won the team fight. Here, let's say you run in, focus fire this Razor down, I feel as though half your damage is gone.
Yes. Well, particularly since you are trying to buff it up with an IO, I'd say it's a pretty critical part of your strategy.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think BB Team need to do well in lanes and just get this IO Razor to critical mass as soon as possible to where that combination just becomes untouchable. That's the route to victory. It is very doable here. By no means out of the question, but I do kind of like the late game control that PSG Quest have compared to limited control for the Breaker and the Wind Ranger as this game goes later and later.
Now, Jenkins was making his argument about the facet for Zeus and what he should go in this one. He was talking about the one that is more focused on the ultimate. I forget its name, but here he does not take that one. He takes the live wire, which I think more people have shown a preference for, even since the Manta Shard change. So,
Bit more reliable in terms of the direct impact, I think.
yeah, he's going to be
Not
dealing
as-
with some heroes that are going to be up in his face. The,
Not as high
Sapphire.
ceiling, though.
Yeah,
Not as flashy.
that's true.
Do get the lane pull back here. Double melee Doom lane. We've seen this a couple times now. Seems like you can always wiggle your way out of this to some degree, even if you're not going to win the lane. Just a question of how much you can get, as Noob is winning mid early. And T2000 is mostly farming top. But it is BB Team, I think, coming ahead a little bit in this early laning phase. They're looking good on all three cores. Supports have a lot of regen, a lot of sustain left. Kind of out-trading these two supports as well. PSG Quest, I think you do want to get aggressive with this Breaker or Disruptor at some point. You really want to ratchet up the pace here. If they play another like really slow game where they're just kind of methodically farming around the map, I don't think Ducals is going to feel good here. Just not the best way to utilize this hero. Or if you fall too far behind in lanes as well, if you can't get to a position where you can run at the enemy, this hero often doesn't function that well. Also, is this Snapfire mount acceptable? I'm just going to pose that question.
What? What's wrong with it?
Has science gone too far?
Are you gonna say something about glance value right now?
I might. Yeah, I
I
might.
feel like that went out the window 10 years ago.
Okay. Well,
I'm surprised you're still thinking about it. I'm surprised Reddit still posts about it. Frankly, obviously, Valve don't care about glance value anymore, guys. Just get with the program.
maybe I'm just too old, man. I feel like I look at half the heroes these days. I don't know what hero it is at all. I don't even know what game we're in.
The future is now, old man.
Oh, I
You can
don't
make
like
heroes look like anything you wanted to.
I like the old days where, you know, you had 100 options for a Pudge hat. They were all kind of the same.
They all look the same.
All like 20 pixels.
The controversy was the fact that the Ursa could wear a cowboy hat.
That was $7,000. Oh, look at this gang coming into the Zeus.
Noob has been doing very well in this lane, and if he gets the support rotations to get a kill on GPK, he could break away with it, but they can't quite get to him.
I'm pretty sure that tree almost killed GPK.
Yeah, I don't think it actually helped him block any vision at all.
I don't know about that one, but I guess it works out. Not enough points in the glimpse yet. Only level 2. Unable to get the connection. A little just too late on the TP. I think that was a Zeus kill. If they just instantly go with the call, it would have been a big one here for PSG Quest. As Noob can continually chip GPK down, and that's a juicy one if you get it in the laning phase. Really slow down that Zeus, especially since the Snap is winning that lane.
Malik gonna be drained. Nice two-man stun, though, with the charge coming from Omar, and a bash out on Nightfall as well. Actually brings him rather low. If Omar was just to magically get some more bashes, he could actually get the kill on the Razor, but instead he'll be run down and beaten down from behind. Nightfall will finally get his first blood.
Took a risk going for those bashes, didn't get him, and that's a full duration link almost. Nightfall able to turn it around there.
Live by the RNG, die by the RNG.
A good start for him, and this is the dream for BB Team. Get this Razor IO as strong as possible, and everything will come together for
They
you.
killed the Spirit Breaker. That just sets up the Spirit Breaker to go top, though a Flame Break is going to stop his charge. Hits him with the Blood Grenade, a glimpse back, and Sable die.
TA2000 should have a better game this time around than that Brutal one, though. That's probably guaranteed here for PSG Quest. A lot more of an independent hero, one that he can just farm, scale, look for his own pickoffs. Might have a better time in the fights. But Nightfall is also just gearing up, and kisses are going to rain down onto nothing. Tips come through, though PSG Quest looking for the gank, looking for the backstab. We'll get the ward, but they're setting up mainly for the 6-minute power rune.
Yep. See what they can get off of that one. The charge coming out. GPK stopping it. Glimpse back, though. That's all they needed. Just closing the distance and making sure they get the glimpse. Now they'll trade out the support for it, but Noob is still putting some damage on save. Thinks he can get this kill, and with the magic wand, he'll stay alive to get the kill. He'll die to the tower, but a double kill for Noob. That is going to feel pretty good.
If he'd gotten that regen bottom, it would have felt even better.
That's true.
But can't survive for it. Toronto Tokyo denies it. Still, Noob, top of the net worth chart. Should be happy about this laning phase. Malik a little sadder about it, but this was going to be the toughest lane no matter what. Double melee hero and an IO Razor. I mean,
they start going on in. The charge is going to put a slowdown here on Nightfall. Just when Malik needs it.
In the Snapfire.
Hits him with the Blood Grenade again, believing in his bashes because he's got Noob here. If you hit him with the bash, then maybe Noob could have closed that distance. But as it is...
They want to dive, bringing in TA2000.
TA2000 from behind with the gate. Hits him with the power shot. And Nightfall, nowhere he can really run to. Looks like they're going to try and separate and kill both of these heroes. The charge to make sure Nightfall does actually die and the IO will fall. Oh, look at him. He's so nice. He's trying to give the kill to his core. Noob. Thanks, Omar, I'm sure, for setting up a kill.
I would have taken that, but Omar's a nicer man than I am.
Nobody ever doubted that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thunder God's Wrath is online for BB Team to try and find a big core kill with it. Still chase down that can work here with the Stampede.
Yeah, they'll be able to hit him with the Stomp for sure. And with GPK joining in the mix, they've got the damage. So TA2000 getting greedy, coming back to lane. And he's immediately punished by BB Team.
I almost thought PSG Quest would have just stayed bottom and looked to kill the Razor again with the kisses coming up for the Snapfire.
I thought so as well.
Instead, they don't get that move. They lose the Wind Ranger top and a 1-on-3.
Is under attack.
It feels like to me, PSG Quest, it's kind of a frustrating situation, but hop away outside of the kinetic field and stopping the charge. GPK doing the absolute most he can, but there's nothing more he can do about that.
Yeah, there's no stopping that type of play there. Power of Glimpse. I mean, charge Glimpse is going to be strong this game. Guarantee the vision. Glimpse him back. Hit the charge. Chain stun him up. Secures a power rune for Noob. He is really rolling on what has become one of his signature heroes this year.
Looks like they knew Save was up here, Flame Break back, but again, the charge, the aggression just sets up the opportunities for glimpses. So the Spirit Breaker may not be connecting on these charges, but he is setting up Takalis for success, and Takalis is level 6 now. He's gonna have maxed out Glimpse pretty soon, and he already has Static Storm.
His supports are getting big for PSG Quest, and that's what you want to see here. I think these two supports can carry this game just straight up. Ducalis can carry the early game, and the Spirit Breaker can carry the late game.
Tower is under attack.
You get a lot of mid-tower damage as well. Just keep looking for the Zeus ganks. Maybe look for counterplays bottom if Nightfall tries to overextend. You have Doom available. He'll throw it. This is just going to be wasted, though.
Yeah.
That's an awkward exchange.
Not great for them. It does show 3 heroes at the bottom part, so no support up here at top. Immediately try and kill Miro. Miro is, I was going to say not use his Stampede, but GPK joined in, so they wanted the extra damage and movement speed to collect kills off of it. And BB Team, they're going to get 2 supports. GPK runs out of mana, sadly, to get that final kill. Noob, meanwhile, will take that mid tower due to GPK's absence.
So mid lane going well for PSG Quest, but the 2 side lanes going well for BB Team here. Finding a lot of support kills, a lot for this Razor IO pair, and now a reload in to clean up 2 more after they just killed that Doom bottom.
And he got a lot of damage back on them with this Blade Mail.
An obnoxious hero for the Wind Ranger to commit on.
Yeah.
That is the strength of this Centaur pick. Not the target TA2000 wants to find in this early game.
Now just chase away time and time again, but time and time again, GPK is ganked by a Spirit Breaker Disruptor.
Man, he's just food.
Yeah, when is somebody gonna help this man out?
I mean, there isn't anything to really help him.
I guess so. They don't have a save unless the IO wants to separate from the Razor, and he's never gonna do that. Now Save himself walks into the 3-man move from Quest. They got that kill mid, smoked up, went bottom, found this one, trying to give some relief to Malik.
His Disruptors looked very strong here. 8 assists already on the board for Ducalis. He is rolling. Level 7 max, Glimpse online. He is higher level than Nightfall.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Damn.
What on earth? And Nightfall has had a pretty good early game here.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower
I mean,
under
he is
attack.
tied up with an IO, right? So his experience is...
Yeah, but Ducalis is tied up with a Disruptor, so...
that can't be a heavy chain. Hey, Miro with the relocate in. They'll get the kill on the Wind Ranger, and Miro survives. Omar, he's going to have to make a run for it and then try and charge away at some point. Save.
Might be able to survive here.
Yeah, he has no flame break, so charge away. Should be okay. Unless the Zeus catches him. Quite close enough. He was trying, but not there. Another Doom going to be used. The Glimpse back on this one. And this is a classic Dota combination here. The only way you don't die when you get doomed is usually just trying to run away, and Glimpse will make sure that's never possible.
Might just for the Doom help him scale up here. PSG Quest starting to take this early game over. Just so much farm on this Snapfire, man. This is going to be a fast Gleipnir. Every power rune has gone his way as well.
Tower is under attack.
The one thing I don't like about this early game for PSG Quest are these ganks into the Centaur top. I just don't think they're necessary, and they've backfired every time. It's the one area of the map that BB Team have had some success in this early game. Just counter-initiate. I mean, the Centaur has Bracer's Blade Mail.
Yeah, why are you ganking the tankiest hero setting up for a relocate?
Exactly. And every time Miro gets gone on by the Wind Ranger, BB Team are happy. That's why they picked this hero. It's exactly what they're looking for. I feel like PSG Quest keep going back here. Just running into that brick wall. when they have a lot of space to operate with right now, because I don't think this IO Razor pair are strong enough to really contest these open jungle areas against the Breaker Disruptor. GPK definitely isn't. He's really struggled against these two supports. So you want to take advantage of this right now if you're PSG Quest. Not just fall back on some AFK farm right now.
Malik picked up his minus, already has 1,100 gold, so his Blink Dagger would not be too delayed. They get that Blink Dagger, they get the Gleipnir on PSG Quest. They're going to have this big window where BKBs are not available for BB Team, and PSG Quest will have what feels like is going to be an overwhelming amount of team fight and catch. That's a deadly combination.
See, he can sell that Midas and buy another Midas.
That's true. If he would like to lose 200 gold, he could do that.
But he would hide information from the enemy. Imagine he uses Midas and then he sells it and then rebuys it every time it's off cooldown. The enemy never knows he has a Midas.
You're right. He's just covertly printing money.
Power of information, Austin. These are the
Power of
strats
the
nobody
Fed.
thinks of. I don't even think that works, but maybe it works. I don't know.
Radiant are scanning.
It's the face of a man who just heard my idea. did not approve.
I mean, does Omar hate that idea? I feel like he's pretty happy in this Spirit Breaker game. He would be down to farm. You said it. Like, this is a game that he...
Reload gone wrong.
Huh?
Well, you tried to reload for Wisdom Rune, right?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, Omar would like to find a lot of fun in this game for sure.
Yeah, he's building in a Shadow Blade. He's actively farming some lanes. He knows he is in a position where he can actually transition into a core.
Yeah, and it's a good breaker game because there's just no control. There's literally nothing that goes through the bulldoze this game. There's no purges. There's very little limited stuns.
And with this new facet, this Spirit Breaker is all the scarier for it.
Man, the barrage.
Hey, man, this
Zeus pick has not worked out. They don't have the supports to play around him and protect them at all.
No.
The control's too limited to stop these charged glimpses going through. It's a hero that, like, normally you could play on an island, but he can't show on waves because it's just instant, the charge.
Mortimer's cruising around the map with that haste rune. Not going to run into the IO, though. Did not look deep enough in the jungle.
They get a blink up on save on this Bat Rider, so maybe BB Team can look for a quick play with it. Try and take some of the pressure off the map right now. So far, it's just PSG Quest running around, getting whatever they want. And pushing all three cores to the top as the Zeus continues to fall behind. This just feels like, I mean, you're going to bank on IO Razor outscaling him here?
Yeah. We seem pretty set on that idea at this point. Which, like, Razor can be a very good hero to counter the Wind Ranger, but I think Noob's... Noob Sapphire carries games, man. Good stop from Miro. Lands it on a TA-2000 and Omar, killing them both. Immediate Doom and the anti-synergy glimpse.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. That's a fight. Great fight for BB Team. Get exactly what they want. Take the supports out first, remove the control, and then you just have a free-for-all. That is one thing about their lineup. They can hit some fast BKBs here with Stampede. Just
watch that
run in with the BKB duration. It's going to be really strong. Save finds exactly who he's looking for here, the Wind Ranger. I will say TA-2000, he's had some costly deaths this series.
Yes.
And it has really slowed down Quest games as BB Team have found him again and again. Find a quick little IO, but it is not the same effect.
Going for the Centaur again, eh?
Yeah, this is just not a thing. I do not know why they keep going to this man. But they are. So
He's
double
got that animal magnetism to him, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Double Gleipnir's up. It's a lot of extra catch. You would really want to fight right now with this item before the BKBs come out for BB Team here. That Razor BKB is going to be strong. Going to have to commit the Focus Fire into Nightfall to bring him down. Maybe even Focus Fire plus Doom to really threaten him. should always be able to cancel reload with something here. Still looking okay for PSG Quest, but they did lose a lot of momentum here in the last 5 minutes, and BB team made some good moves with this save Batrider.
Yeah, I expected them to make much more of this time period where the Razor wants to build up BKB, and like I feel like very clearly cannot take straight 5-on-5s without it. I mean, your IO is already being crippled by Static Storm, charges, and it's never going to get better either. You're going to start getting the split focus of the little shredder shots that come into play every single time. Like, this IO is just going to die at the start of every fight. So the Razor actually needs to be strong enough to be independent of the IO's assistance.
Or he just
that starts with a BKB.
Kills the enemy fast enough, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can always, like, glimpse the IO out of the fight, too, if he reloads in. Or even if they just run in. So, you kind of can't rely on this tether pair too much this game.
No, you really can't. We haven't even said, like, Shackle is, like, usually pretty good against that hero. They might just doom the Razor or the IO. Ooh, looks like a little bit of a bloody nose. Happens to the best of us.
Got Spear Breaker charged in real life.
Yeah. Got bashed in the face. Wait, no, that's Blacklist. Sorry.
Can't make that joke.
What are they gonna do? Sue me?
I don't know.
Listen, I'll see all that after the series, right?
I bet you will.
10 to 14, 3,000
I bet
hours
you will.
for PSG Quest. We're gonna move along back into the game.
For the record, I fully enjoy watching that team play and support them in their endeavors at this tournament. I would just like to state that for the record, and I do not share the opinions of my co-caster. He speaks for himself here. Public announcement.
Very good.
See, I'm a good corporate man.
Yeah, you are.
There's the BKB for the Razor. Also
Hooray!
12 as well. So it's go time for BB team here. What can you make happen with this? Which probably means they're going to farm for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to farm a little bit more aggressively because they have BKB.
I don't think they want to look for the true 5-on-5. They probably want to start something on one of the sides of the map with like a lasso into a hoof stomp or a hoof stomp into lasso, something of this nature. Throw a Thunder God's Wrath on top and just reload the Razor in. And then even if PSG Quest commits to the fight, you can probably take it. I think a head-on 5-on-5, you might be able to force it, but you know, you could still get charged or ulted in this BKB. You can still get focus fired down.
What do you do if PSG Quest don't split up and they just sit together as 5?
Well, you
what if they
feed.
smoke into your IO relocate situation? Oh, the smoke breaker, it's an awkward angle. They need the vision. They're not going to get it fast enough. The kisses go out. The Gleitner on one. They're going to go straight for the IO. They got the Doom on the Razor, actually, with a lot of damage for the focus fire. There's your BKB.
Yep, that's the problem. Like, the charge through just negates so much of the presence, and there's a lot of damage to throw in there. This is why I think the Wind Ranger is going to feel a lot better for PSG Quest this game than last one, because there's a clear target for T2000 to lock onto every time and win the fight.
Yes.
If you focus fires Razor, you bring him down, that fight is won. There is no other real big damage source to carry the fight. Like Zeus, you can itemize against. You can build Pipe, you can build Mage Slayer, Shroud, whatever, Glimmer, you know, Sustain, and that hero cannot carry a game.
And I love the timing of this smoke, too.
That's a beautiful one.
It gets the Tormentor kill, which is pretty nice to take away from the IO, and they've got 2 supports that are pretty decent with it. BB team are actually going to try and disrupt this Tormentor play. It is ambitious.
They're really low.
They are really low. Oh, he sees all these heroes. They're all low. Can they get anything off of it? They get the Disruptor who was walking into them, but everybody else will get out. But imagine.
Oh, they reloaded the base.
Had the other oh my God, they're in the base.
They didn't get anything though.
That was lame. Well, they're gonna get relocated back. Good attempt, good effort, good effort.
Yeah, I like that play. I mean, they're all low and the Disruptor's dead. Did he actually have buyback on Disruptor there?
No.
No, he didn't. Otherwise, you're buying back there. You're
Oh yeah, 100%.
glimpsing. Maybe it's not even worth it. I mean, you can only glimpse the IO.
Well, no, if you're good, you glimpse the Razor.
Dire's top tower is under
I mean, he
attack.
BKBs it, right? I don't think trading buyback for BKB is worth it. I guess you, yeah, whatever. We'll discuss that another time, but I do like the creativity from BB team on that play. That was a heads-up idea.
I mean, I like any aggression I see out of BB team.
True.
Radiant are scanning.
And I think they need to go for stuff like that because they're losing a bit of farm on the map right now.
Yeah, just frankly, is this like I don't think the Wind Ranger is going to answer the Razor for a lot of these situations. Unless you manage to get the initiation, get the link on him early, then maybe the Razor stops the Wind Ranger. But like we're seeing this BKB focus fire problem. And that's before Noob is online on the late game Snapfire. Noob Snapfire late game is crazy.
True.
Attack.
Any falsehoods? No falsehoods here. Got a glimpse back. Bat Rider shot down by the power shot.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. PSG Quest might be the team in the world that buys the most Lincoln Spheres of any team I've ever seen in my life.
Is under attack.
Give me the stat on that.
Yeah, production.
Give me the stat on that.
Stats.
I mean, they're not going to have it for this because that is not a stat you could have.
This was the problem BSA was talking about, by the way. You just have to show all the time as Razor. They do manage to get the relocate out, but it does leave Razor alone here, and he's already been doomed. They don't have the immediate physical damage, though, of the Wind Ranger. She's still struggling to catch up to the team fight, but Noob does do some shredder damage, and he shreds the Razor.
He brought the Zeus back.
Got the shackle on only one. Will Toronto Tokyo be able to bail out GPK from this situation? GPK going for the kill onto TA2000. Just needs one more nuke, and he's got him. A charge in from behind. A big bash from Omar, but these heroes are still decently tanky. GPK and Miro are healthy, and it looks like PSG Quest are going to run out of some damage here. Omar making out the bash. Will not get it. Save comes in with a lasso just to ensure that RNG will not be able to save him here. Triple kill for GPK. This has got to be his highlight of game 2. He has been struggling this entire game, and the one time he gets an IO save is the fight that he's able to pop off on.
I guess Toronto Tokyo made the right call there, as they win a fight with the Razor doing nothing. That's crazy to me that they win this fight. Almost got the save on the Razor. I thought he reloaded GPK back in, but GPK was just playing up aggressive there.
Oh yeah, he was. He put himself in that situation.
I mean, he made the absolute correct call here. There was no damage left in the tank. They committed so much on the Razor.
What did TA2000 focus fire in this fight, by the way? Because he wasn't a part of the Razor kill. And he didn't have focus fire for a fast IO or Zeus kill, so...
I think it was on the Zeus, but he had to run.
But then he was trying to hit the IO.
That entire fight was incredibly confusing to me.
Yeah.
I still think it feels like Quest should have gotten more out of that. Nonetheless, BB team played well.
Smoke and Stampede, but TA2000 ran to the right-hand side. They know it from the scan. That was
Dire's bottom tower
peculiar
is under attack.
in its aggressiveness from BB team.
This Centaur's been annoying. They don't have a lot to commit onto Miro to bring him down, and he's actually doing a decent amount of damage over the course of the long fights.
Yeah, he definitely did a scaling Centaur build, right? Eternal Shroud, Late Nail,
I like
no
this.
boots, going to Shivas.
Make yourself a threat.
He just needs the shard after the Shivas, and that damage will start building up. But what about your Razor? Nice charge on the IO, stopping the relocate. Beautiful stuff from Omar. That's just some heads-up Spirit Breaker play. And got the glimpse on the IO too. The support duo dismantling BB team. BB team still sticking around thinking that maybe they can keep this going. A charge going to the Centaur, trying to go through the BB team. A little shredder, not quite enough to finish on Toronto Tokyo. But the kisses will be enough. Lands that one. Static Storm put on a GPK. Couldn't control him inside the kinetic field. Glimpsed him back in. They have the commitment. A stomp in, a cookie follow-up, a charge, and they blow him away. Now just pushing back the Centaur, leaving him for last. They're gonna go for the Bat Rider next up, and then save the tough meat of the horse to chew through later.
Ooh. Multiple glimpses setting that up, and of course, another fight where you take the Razor out first just opens up the floodgates for PSG Quest, and they are able to capitalize. And all that starts with a high ground ward from the Disruptor that gets that charge on the IO initially. That's why he had the vision there. support's making all the plays for PSG Quest here. No control for this breaker. I think he got off 4 charges in this fight. Multiple Centaur stomps from Malik as well. And of course, multiple glimpses from Ducalis. It's just so much control that adds up as you're trying to recuperate as BB team. Even end up buying back the IO, and he has no way to get to this fight. A wasted buyback from Toronto Tokyo as they saved the Centaur for last. You know, they went up there the whole game to focus him, and I guess they learned their lesson. Save that Centaur for last and bring him down in the 5-on-1.
Also, maybe BB team learned the wrong lesson from their last team fight. They won that fight without the Razor. This fight, the Razor goes down first. They still thought they could fight.
I don't think that's what they thought. Maybe they were a little confident. The problem is once you start getting caught on one person, you just keep getting caught over and over and over.
Yeah.
There'll be a Lincolns for
especially
Nightfall.
With Disruptor and Spirit Breaker.
Yes.
Which I think just means it's inherently folly to try and bail out the IO in the first place, you know?
Can't run from heaven.
Apparently, they can run at heaven. Repeatedly. Kill.
Anyway, somebody get me the stat on the Lincoln Spheres bought by this team. Somebody at me on Twitter after this game. No, I'm not saying for you guys on production. I know that's not. Somebody
we're trying
to
crowdsource this one.
You know, Knoxville, whoever's watching, I want a stat on how many Lincolns PSG Quest buy on average per game compared to every. Because every game I watch them, it feels like they always end up with at least 2. No matter what the heroes are. These guys just love their Lincoln Spheres. Lincoln's done on TA 2000. What do you think Noob's eyeing up here on his item built for Snapfire?
A Lotus Orb?
Lincoln Sphere, my man. You should have listened to me.
Sorry.
I'm telling you, something about this item speaks to this team.
Well, maybe in this game, it's the single target nature of both sides. Their lineup, it is going to be a very effective Lincoln's game.
I mean, BB team are going to have 2 of their own.
Oh, charge is coming, my man. You can't stop it because you can't see it. Noob.
This is just such a good Spear Breaker game. It is.
You come on now. You can't interrupt me like that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What?
Oh, I was going to say noob. Took the last hit, and then it just sounds like I'm calling Sabe a noob.
How am I responsible for that? You
Come
gotta
on,
speak
man.
faster.
Gotta give me some
Supposed
space.
to be a rap god.
Let me spread my wings. That's Owen.
Radiant's top
14 to
tower
25, 8,000 net worth lead for PSG Quest as they have felt in control this entire game. And I've been worried about what the Snapfire looks like when you start getting the 20 talent and then the 25 talent. We're almost there. 20 talent is almost here. Malik is also getting to the higher levels of Doom, so level 3 Doom is going to be up very soon.
Yeah, that's the scary part. The Snapfire talents are always just looming in this game if you're a BB team, and I don't think you're beating those.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you're talking about just the outscaling possibilities. GPK. How did that happen? Well, I mean, if he makes it past that tree, he's probably not going anyway.
GPK taking a page out of the MLBB player books. GPTZ over here. You like that one? That was a multi-genre joke. There's definitely like 10 people watching right now. They got that.
That's the kind of commentary Esports World Cup wants. Crossing genres. Tier 2, another one taken out, or first one actually for PSG Quest.
Oh, he didn't end up going for the Lincoln. So he queued up the Lincoln so he could ping it to say, hey, you're going another Lincolns. I approve of that.
Shiva's blink in from Malik, hits the glimpse, forces out the BKB, and they'll still get the IO kill. Man.
And the BKB out of the Razor, which means you just can't fight until it's back off cooldown. This game is spiraling for BB team, and there's not clear ways back. You're running the clock against these Snapfire talents, and he is Omega farmed. 11, 1, and 8 for Noob this game. Feels like when PSG Quest need a win, they go back to this mid-snap. And you need like 2 or 3 more items here on the Razor before he's a big enough threat that he can go in and deal with the Doom and the Focus Fire they're going to be throwing at him and still win you the fight. Like, you need a Refresher, maybe a damage item or a survivability item, and Butterfly or something? I don't know.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Why don't more teams run this mid Snapfire? like comes in and out of fashion, but Noob like consistently picks it, and it works really well for him. Is that? Do you think it's his own proficiency, or do you think a big part is like the team setup?
That's a peculiar mid. Like, it has these valleys in the game that don't feel good for a lot of mid players that just prefer to snowball directly with something like a Tiny or Primal. His ultra late is really good, but you can sometimes get stuck trying to get to those talents.
Yeah.
Like, his damage comes in the level 25 now, so it can be a long way to get there. I don't think a lot of teams want to wait for their scale to come online. Like, if you're a 4-slotted Primal or 4-slotted Timber, you're just going to do more at this point in the game.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know what we're cheering for, but I approve.
They're cheering for a 4K difference gain in that Aegis power play that was negative
Radiant's
last
bottom
game.
tower is under attack.
That's true. PSG Quest have gotten more adept with the Aegis, and they'll take a second tier 2 off the map during this window. Charge across the map from Omar is going to break this smoke. They do manage to get the lightning bolt. Good reaction from GPK, but he has a BKB in Omar, so they can't actually stop it.
Didn't use it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Huh. I think you're just supposed to instant use him there, get rid of the bulldoze. You can last him when he comes back down. Little misplay there.
Oh, look at that. 20 Lincoln Sphere in 46 matches. That is definitely above average.
Wow, we actually got that stat. I'm genuinely impressed, though.
Well done, production.
I don't know what the average is.
You just have to confidently state that it is well above the average.
10 above the average, folks.
These other teams are getting like 1 Lincoln Sphere every 4 games. These guys get it.
I mean, that does sound high, though, right?
It
20 Lincolns over 46 games?
It is high.
You're basically buying half a Lincolns every game?
That's, yeah.
I mean, for example, I feel like if I watch Falcons or Spirit, I don't think I ever see them really buy Lincolns.
Well, BB team in this series are currently building 1 Lincoln's a game because they had 2 Lincolns in this one.
Yeah, they got infected.
The PSG Quest Lincoln
what they do to you.
infection. You should have spell shielded off that one.
Look, he's going to Lotus too now, man. They're done. They've gotten the single target reflection curse put onto them. I mean, it does make sense here for BB team. You really want to get rid of these charges, the Doom reflection if you can get it. Maybe even like a glimpse pop could be pretty influential.
Yeah, boo pauses. Nobody likes pauses. I've never seen a crowd boo for a pause before. That's funny.
2.
2?
2.
TY.
2 what?
To be or not to be. That is currently the question that PSG Quest is pondering.
They seem in good spirits. Well, because they're up 11,000 net worth.
Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the slings and arrows by not having a Lincolns to block them, or throw Lotus Orb, reflect them back, and end them.
I don't know why you're making fun of this. Like, I'm telling you, this team has some weird obsession with Lincoln Sphere. I'm not even saying it's bad. I'm not even criticizing. I'm just saying I've never seen a team buy so many Lincoln Spheres, especially in a patch where that item isn't even that good. I mean, it's like...
Well, theory crafted out with me.
It's okay.
Why do you think they do it? Is it something about their drafting style?
I just think their cores don't like dying. And they feel like if they get BKB Lincolns, like, they can't do anything to me, you know? That's my read. I don't know. Ask them, man. I'm not an interviewer.
I was expecting some deep analysis. Why do you think? I just think they don't like dying.
Yeah, I genuinely think
Who does?
It's some feeling like that. Like, they think if they don't die, that they're going to win late game, you know?
So
like,
if we ask production
scaling.
for a stat on, say, deaths per game on their cores, do you think they would be lower than?
No, I don't think it works. That's my point. I don't think it actually like.
Okay.
I think it. Okay, so for me, Lincoln's is an item that makes you feel safe. You know, even if it's an illusion. It's a warm blanket.
It's a warm blanket.
Yeah, it's like
It's the safety blanket.
And I think they enjoy feeling like they're going to be safe and scale into the late game where the strength of their team lies, which I think for PSG Quest, it is in that like 40 to 60 minute block, right? I don't think they end games early. I don't think they generally run over lanes, but I think they can outscale you and outplay you in those later team fights, particularly with Noob and TA2000 being really good late game scaling players. And I think a lot of times Lincoln's is like a, it's the second or third item that makes you feel like, all right, they're not going to be able to catch me on the map, which means I'm going to be able to split push and get to my items and eventually get to that late game, even if I give up a little bit now. That's my actual idea behind it.
So when TA2000 clicks the Lincolns on himself and he's wrapped in the warm embrace of that
You're going the
blue
distance.
orb,
You're going the distance.
he feels safe and confident.
Yeah, and what's your choice as the opposing team? To build it back. Okay, we got to match it.
And next thing you know, you've got a blanket for it. Welcome, everybody, to Game 2. If you're just now tuning in, you're watching Game 2 of PSG Quest versus BB Team, where both of these teams are not in the top 4 in position. BB Team in particular, due to a 0-2 loss earlier today, are not feeling good about their position in groups. Now they've already lost the first game.
I mean, that's a big question. How significant of a game is this for BB Team? Is this their tournament life, potentially? I mean, they risk falling into tiebreakers depending on what happens on the last day, right?
Yeah.
Game for them. And they're not in an easy position to clutch this one out. Like, as good as a team they are, as much as they can sometimes win these late game fights off of the initiations, especially when they have these Bat Rider lamps, this one looks tough, man. Just not a lot of control to work with. This lasso and hoof stomp really need to land big time.
Yep.
They're thinking about it. GPK. Wondering why he got ganked so many times in a row.
Well, he's going to have a bit longer pause to be able to think about it. As we're going to need a bit more time to be able to fix this technical issue. We could talk about some of the implications of the rest of the group that they are currently sitting on. I was pulling that up earlier. So Mouse, who is occupying one of those elimination slots, and that will not change. They are already eliminated at a score of 1-11. BB Team did manage to win that first game of the series, so it puts them up to a score of 4-7. Obviously not great, but Beast Coast has also been doing rather poorly, and if BB Team can manage to win this game, coming back, it would actually allow them to be able to leapfrog over PSG Quest, and that would put 2 teams between them and elimination. And with the possibility of maybe even, depending on what happens with Extreme, maybe even still contesting for upper bracket. I'm not sure if that's possible. A score of 5-7. Is it possible for Weibo Extreme to be able to get 7 losses right now?
All right, but I am a fan of NA Dota, Austin. So how are my NA teams doing?
Oh. Well, they're not playing in this group stage.
Oh, there's another one going on.
No, they're not in the other group either.
Unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, but they didn't make it past the play-in stage.
I mean, what that tells me then, Austin, is that European/MENA Dota back on the rise. Been dominating the groups, right? Tundra at the top, OG having a resurgence.
Game of Gladiators,
Entity
OG,
looking great.
Falcons, Spirit.
Falcons and PSG
Tundra,
Quest
Liquid,
both having solid performances. Like,
yeah.
who between, and this was all kind of lumped in for one region for that TI, which is why I'm kind of grouping them here, but
yeah.
From this kind of European MENA powerhouse mega region, who's challenging them in this tournament so far? I don't see it. It's certainly not North America. I think we've learned that.
Spirit. It's Eastern Europe. It is not China. It's not China. It might be Extreme.
Not China. You're counting out XGWBG just like that?
No, I said it might be Extreme. But I'm saying the region as a whole,
1-0,
not
sorry,
doing it
wrong
because LGD are
What?
not doing the worst, but they're looking at a potential elimination.
I think LGD has kind of overperformed what people expected, though, in a way.
I would.
People were thinking they were going to get eliminated in the first stage, especially after the early days.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I did not expect them to be as competitive.
I don't think China's looked that bad outside of G2IG, which just had terrible performance, no way around it.
Azure Ray did worse, but you're just taking the opportunity to flame legendary manager KBQ.
Because expectations for G2IG were higher than for Azure Ray.
Sure.
Azure Ray was already struggling going into this tournament. I think
G2IG was supposed to be the second hope for China.
Exactly. It just crumbled.
No, it was.
You could say SA is honestly not done too bad at this event either.
Yes, I had very high hopes for Heroic to actually get top 4 in their group. They seem to be petering out a little bit as the group stage goes on.
Whisper's doing good.
Whisper is doing very good for OG for sure, as is. Oh,
it's interesting. It's just interesting with these regions ebb and flow, but generally European Dota has been dominant over the last few years, and I mean, this is another event where suddenly Game and Gladiators are climbing back with their Underlord strategies and their Pipo or buying and making everybody play this way. Disgusting.
Yeah, and as pessimistic as you are about Team Liquid, they have actually performed very well at this group stage. They're 9-3.
How am I pessimistic about Team Liquid?
What are you gonna say? I'm just realistic.
Well, not like that. They've been struggling this year, man.
They have.
Okay.
And they have done well in this groups. They're 9-3.
This is true.
They have not lost a series. They actually have 3 wins and 3 ties.
European Dota, baby, back on top.
Just what everybody wants to see, right, Avery?
Maybe.
That's why some of these other regions need to be able to step it up.
We didn't even talk about C.
Don't want to have regional domination. Do you want to talk about C? No, Aurora's doing fine. They're middle of the road, 6-6.
Yeah, I think Aurora could still make a run here as this tournament goes on. Especially if they get that little bump into that upper bracket, and then all of a sudden they find some heroes that work for them. They win one of those series. They're looking pretty good, and we saw them make a run here last year as well, and I think a lot of people didn't expect them to. As a team that's definitely capable. And these teams that have come from the first play-in stage also have a lot more games under their belt, which is not something that you can write off, not something you should underestimate. I think it's looked like it's been really good for Entity, who is the other one that came out of that play-in that I think has looked really strong because of it. Don't count them out.
All right. Well, and we do have this situation. By the way, earlier when I said it was a technical pause, it turns out it's actually a bit of a medical situation. So obviously, we want to be able to give as much room to the players as possible to be able to make sure they're in good shape for this situation. So it does mean this pause is going to take a bit longer than you would normally expect out of a pause. Hopefully, you guys in chat will be understanding, as I know the Dota community is always very understanding of matches being delayed in any way. So thank you for your patience. And I believe that we are going to take a bit of a break and check in with the panel, as they're going to get an opportunity to mid-game analyze. Don't get that very often. Panel, how you guys doing?
We're doing well. Thank you so much, Cap and SVG. It is a bit of something new coming in when the game is still technically going on, sharing our opinions and thoughts on what is happening. But just reiterating what Cap said, is a medical pause at the moment. So we're going to have a little bit of our own talk show session here. Maybe go through some highlights as well of some important and some pivotal parts within this game, because so far it seems like PSG Quest are dominating. It should be theirs for the taking. In fact, maybe they could have already won this game. BSJ.
And you guys were Snapfire haters, but Noob on the Snapfire is absolutely...
It's the Ricochet, not the full board, that's why.
It's the Ricochet talent, or facet, if you will. Poor GPK. He is just suffering on the mid lane.
He honestly played that pretty well mechanically, but it just doesn't matter. I talked about in the draft, I thought the Disruptor pick was just super powerful at all stages of the game, and every kill in the early to mid game, as well as like every relocate. There was the one that he accidentally glimpsed the doomed target, but it feels like whoever's going on who is getting the advantage, but the charge into glimpse that we saw there was just kind of like a little appetizer for what's going to happen in the rest of the game, or what already has happened. But
yeah, I was going to say what is going to or what has. This is a weird, we can both talk in
I'm like kind of thinking,
and future or present tense as well, because I am sure there will be many more of those moments to come. Potentially some more moments that you want to talk about too, Fia.
Perhaps. I mean, this game was, for the most part, been pretty dominant by the side of PSG Quest, and a lot of that has done from the Snapfire, as you mentioned. This hero has been doing incredibly well. I was a bit of a skeptic at first. I haven't seen this hero do a lot of good things so far, but Omar and Noob have been running around the map, making all the things happen, and there's just been a lot of like interesting fights that have been happening. A lot of them was this Smoke Ink too. This one was really good. They're able to get behind him, and Omar just leading the charge every single fight, getting vision with the kisses. Then all of a sudden you get the Glyper on top of it, the Doom comes out. This is the reason why they picked the Doom as well. The IO cannot be able to use any heals whatsoever, and Nightfall has been struggling very hard on like getting into these fights or trying to get out of them, because the Disruptor is also there to send him back if he tries to leave.
Really does feel like in the current patch of Dota 2, you doom a target, they die. There was a while before where
I feel like you were saying the complete opposite.
No.
Like 20 seconds before the game
He does
started.
that a lot, yeah.
He definitely talked about how
what was
sometimes
it? What was it I said then?
you can get doomed.
If you're so sure of it, what was it?
That you can get doomed and walk away, that you can
What?
disengage. You
That's
said that, and then
blatantly-
BSJ came up with, well,
blatant
when you want
lie.
to disrupt it because of the kinetic field, you can
That's a blatant.
keep that doom target.
You know what
with the
Avery
damage range.
calls it actually? He said this at one point, and it blew my mind, like way long ago. He calls it anchoring. I think this is when he was still a player, back when he was good. Anchoring. Like certain heroes like for a fight to be anchored, and Disruptor was actually the hero that he brought up for this concept. Like, Disruptor obviously puts a fight in a certain area, you glimpse into kinetic field, everybody fights there. It's obviously Mars. It's a lot of these like circle type heroes. But then a hero like Brewmaster will kill anybody with his ult who's just standing in an area. Doom will kill anybody who's just standing in an area. And I like Wind Ranger for this as well. If you win plus Doom, Focus Fire Doom, both BKB piercing, pretty much no matter what items you have and what items they have, you're going to kill them. Like, these combos are really nice because it always gives you a chance in the game, no matter what.
Well, look, medical issue aside, what is the route back in for BB Team? I mean, the fact that they are down in net worth right now, the fact that the fights are getting more complicated as the game progresses too. It's not as clear cut. PSG Quest coming in, being able to lay down those ultimates and just win the fight. It's not like that anymore. So what needs to now occur for them to be able to transition into getting that net worth lead?
I think the issue for them is both teams rely heavily on who jumps who first, and PSG has a Spear Breaker who they don't really want to go on him. They have a target that is not juicy for them, so Omar is able to supply the vision. So I think it's going to come down to having a Ward Sentry, using his charge, and then being able to like blink on the backline and kill the Disruptor before he gets his spells off, because at the end of the day, it's a lot harder for them to do that than it is for Omar to just run in.
Yeah. I did a little bit of investigating, by the way, and I counted all of the players, and it's Miro that's missing.
Yep.
Don't know if I should have said that on stream, but I'm going to anyway. I already have.
Just looking at the... Yep, that's Miro that's missing.
He's your favorite, isn't he?
He is my favorite guy, yeah. He's my favorite.
And your least favorite is Nightfall.
Nightfall. Well, Nightfall, there's been some, beef going on.
Do you want to go high-five him?
I can high-five Nightfall, yeah.
Yeah, go
Actually, here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do.
Appreciate that a lot.
This is for the elevator. You ignored me. Friggin' asked you a question.
That was really good. Let
He
it out.
ignored you on the
I
elevator?
said, what?
He ignored you on the elevator?
No, I asked if you want to get breakfast with me, and he said, I have a match. And I said, what the heck's going on with you, man? We always get breakfast.
All the matches are in the afternoon. That's what you said to him back.
We always get breakfast.
Do you actually?
What?
No, that's a lie. You're not even ever awake for breakfast. I don't know why I thought that was a genuine piece of
Wait, one
information.
sec.
that
Can
you
I-
were
Part where he
Can I
said
just-
breakfast
make
and
it-
match was
One
the
sec,
part
where's
that...
GPK? Is that save or
That's
GPK?
That's
save.
save.
That's save? Where
GPK is
GPK is
what
down the end.
affect-
No,
Oh, wait,
he's
no,
right
yeah,
there.
he's right here. He's right here. He's
Get
right
out of
here.
the... Okay, this is...
My bad.
This is for expecting me to hit a Mirana arrow off of a Razor Q. It's not even that much of a slow. You were leveling your passive. He actually did that. He actually did that to me in a pub. He was mad at me.
I know.
I'm not
Are
even
we
joking.
taking out GPK?
Yeah,
Like,
do you have any beef with any of the PSG? I feel like you have to even it up a little bit.
Do I have beef with any of the PSG guys?
Yeah.
They're pretty nice guys overall.
They're actually, I don't know, they're pretty
They're
nice
very
guys.
wholesome. They're also great for content.
They're not incendiary like...
I've been flamed. I've been flamed by GPK too. Don't worry.
I think that's
take it
a
out.
rite of passing
He
if
has
you're in the
beef
high
with
MMR
everyone.
games. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's tell our GPK stories then.
All right, very quickly, because there is another content piece that we could throw to
Okay,
instead.
so basically,
you
I
can
played-
scissors, paper, rock for what we
It
did.
was
Or just
what was-
talk.
I'm gonna say it. It was
Okay.
just which major was it? The Texas one?
Arlington.
Yeah.
Arlington.
So everyone was in US,
You're the
right?
worst
I was
American.
playing from home, and then he randomed Alchemist, right? Because Nothing to Say was also in this game, and he gave him mid. And I played Pos for Enigma because he randomed Alchemist. He went Grievel's Greed first on an off-lane Alchemist. And then he started flaming me because I picked
why did you
Enigma.
let me pick
I was
this?
being edgy by playing position 4 Enigma.
Did he call you an edgelord?
Something like
Because
that.
maybe he's spending too much time with Jenkins.
No, he doesn't know what. He wouldn't know that. That's like a cool Zoomer stuff. He's an old guy.
True.
You know.
Do you want to share any PSG Quest stories?
I've only had positive experiences with all of them.
I like that we can see them. I feel like
I do like this shot. Well, the reason why I asked if you wanted to share any PSG Quest stories was because Tsunami got to sit down with the. I don't know actually if he was sitting or standing. I'm just kind of making this up on the spot.
It's hard to tell.
But
with
he
them.
was with. He was. That's true. Tsunami is so short. Sometimes his sitting is standing. He was.
Hello, everyone. I am joined by TA2000 of PSG.
Okay, he's sitting. He's sitting. Well, I think that was sitting. That was right.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the chair, but I wasn't sure if he was
We
actually
just had to
sitting in it.
We just had to confirm, was he sitting or standing?
So the next time that Nat throws it to him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
also
We
sure.
took so long sharing of all of our stories that the game is ready.
The fill time there, Nat and the boys, but we are back in with BB Team versus PSG Quest Game 2. Reminder of where we were at in this series. PSG Quest have been winning this game for, I think, the entirety of it. They have built up an 11,000 net worth lead. BB Team have been left with little solutions to the team fight's power of PSG Quest, combined with the good amount of catch that they also have. We haven't seen the BKB Razor go to work just yet. Is there any hope of changing that narrative, Avery?
It's got to come from lassos. Find big lasso targets. If you're BB Team, just burst that hero down, use Stampede during the BKB duration as a follow-up, and then you can start to look good in these team fights. So for me, I'm looking at Save.
I'm looking at Save too.
He's dead. He almost has BKB though. Should help him out a decent amount. There's no escaping from the doom. As we also saw, New pick up an amp damage rune on the Snapfire. That is some nasty DPS.
Yeah, you may not have level 25, but it's still a decent amount of damage.
Actually less than I would have thought there, but of course he's still missing 75% of his damage off that Shredder. Would love to get some more levels here. As Nightfall would love to get some more farm, but his camps will be denied from him. PSG Quest continue to control the map, but look towards that next Roshan. Are going to be happy to charge anybody they see on the map, try and corral them a bit. And more experience for Noob, exactly what he wanted.
Closer and closer he gets.
I think if you get to level 25 plus the Daedalus on the Snapfire, you are very confident to close this game out.
Yeah, Io has no chance
Yep.
of really living in a fight. If the Bat Rider's close, he's dead. They do have, I guess, some kind of tanky cores. This kind of build-up on GPK actually has almost 3,000 HP. The Razor could definitely use a Satanic, though, and make his life a bit easier because he won't have an IO for most of it.
It's a big smoke for the game, though.
Yeah.
You really need to connect here if you're BB Team looking for save to find something, ideally a big core target.
Oh, the smoke, it doesn't quite break. The Disruptor, they know he was there from that planted lightning.
You really want to get something here into a Roshan and is spawning shortly. Do have that Zuzags as well to throw out for vision if you want to throw the Thunder God's Wrath, throw down the Nimbus, and then go in with the Bat Rider on top of that. Could be a mechanism to give you some vision and a little opening. If the Breaker's the front line, though, that's the trouble for BB Team. They don't have good ways to interact with Omar.
Omar, man, he's just in there. Lost half his HP immediately going for the IO, but his team couldn't really follow it up. They throw out the kisses. Okay, he bumps down the Bat Rider. Maybe making that kill. Meanwhile, Malik goes in and gets the Doom onto the Razor. The Razor is already turned around with all of his damage, almost killing Doom in the process, but now he needs a way out of here. Noob's going to deny that. He jumps in with a cookie, gets the double kill for himself. And BB Team, they don't get totally wiped or anything, but the frustration continues as they're going to lose 3 heroes off of this fight. I feel like they have struggle to be able to showcase how they can win a 5-on-5.
And I'm not sure I understand this satanic buildup from Nightfall, because it feels like you're just going to get doomed every fight. Like, who else do you want to doom, or who else do you have to doom?
Yeah.
And the thing is, Malik has a Lincoln's break with this ensnare, so he's just able to go in there, break the Lincolns with the net, throw the doom onto the Razor. As long as the IO's dealt with, Nightfall's locked into that fight, and he's probably dying in the end, even if he was able to bring the doom there down. Satanic doesn't help you in that situation. More damage being built up here by the Wind Ranger, and you're inching towards that level 25 on the Snapfire every time you lose a fight.
Yep.
It's that much closer for him. Looking for another lasso here if you're saved.
Really good poke from PSG Quest that they have. They just casually took a tier 3, and there was no real risk of getting caught in the process with 2 heroes down. So they take that. They can go back for the Roshan fight. I think BB team, I don't think you have an option. I think you just have to try and contest that Roshan again.
And Ag's being built up by Omar on the Spear Breaker. That would be deadly here. Get the planar pocket, reflect the lasso, or even a link or something of that nature onto him instead of one of the cores.
The scan, it's successful. They know BB team is coming, but they're trying to finish off Roshan fast enough. Almost getting inside the pit, but not good enough. PSG Quest get the spoils of Roche. Now they try and get out of here, but the Doom is already placed onto the Razor. Toronto Tokyo is going to try and escort him out of here. Noob is taking a lot of damage, though. He's passed over the cheese. See if he gets the chance to be able to eat that one, while Malik's still trying to commit for this Razor kill. The Doom is almost out, but the charge is coming through, and that's going to be the coup de grace. Omar finishes him off with one big blow to the head, and without their carry now, GPK with a focus fire on him will quickly go down. There's nothing left in the tank for BB team. Could not contest the Roshan fast enough and will not win the fight immediately afterward.
That might be all she wrote here, as that Aegis Cheese did a lot of work in that fight for PSG Quest. Even though Nightfall's able to kind of survive the initial attempt with the Doom on him, and he's able to get to the outside of the fight, the charge comes through and seals his fate. Just not able to re-engage at any point really in this game. BB team running out of gas here as a buyback from Ducalis claims even more, and now that Ags is done on the Spear Breaker, so those spells that are going to get lumped into the planar pocket are going to be even more difficult to land. This Spear Breaker has been a major thorn in BB team's side since the start of this game.
You know what the real shame of this is going to be, Avery? We've talked about the Snapfire's level 25 probably 15 times in this game.
They'll never get to it.
We may never get to it because PSG Quest might just close out the game before that. Even has the Daedalus, is level 24.5, but one more lost team fight, and BB team are truly going to GG out. Whitebeard catch on the IO. Good start, charge on the creep wave instead, but it doesn't matter. They get that kill anyway. He does have a buyback.
Nets him to assert dominance here. Save.
Save, trying to go for it. Quick Manta reaction from TA2000, denies that initiation from Save. And Noob, here comes some shots. Got his level 25 off of that kill. Gonna have to wait for another little shredder to be able to see it, but the fight might be over before that even comes to fruition. He throws some kisses into the fountain, and there it happened. They actually
didn't get to see it